SmartSuite just released a new feature called Repeating Tasks, which adds to its growing arsenal of project management capabilities. Hi, I'm Dan Lehman from AutomationHelpers.com, a SmartSuite implementation partner. I'm showing this today inside of a project management solution template in SmartSuite, but you can do this from any solution you want inside of your workspace. Now, the thing to know about this is that the functionality for repeating tasks is contained within the due date type field. That's a field that you can add at any point by searching for due date and adding that. So you're not going to search for a unique field type called repeating task. You're not going to go to automations and build a repeating task. It's all contained within the due date itself. So when might you want to use repeating tasks? Well, in this case, we have a client check-in that we want to do with our clients of a certain size every single week. And we don't want our users to have to create a task to remind themselves to do that check-in. We just want the system to take care of that automatically for us. So here we can click on our due date, and we're going to click and turn it into a repeating task. You can see this icon in the lower left-hand corner. That opens up this panel. And in this case, this is going to be a weekly task for us. So we'll set it on Fridays, which, as we all know, is a great time to be contacting all of our clients since they're all in the office in the summertime. Now, if we choose up here the cadence of this, we can say we want this to be a weekly task. But you can see we have a number of different options like you would in Google Calendar to be able to say when this repeats, including the ability to create custom ones, which gives you additional flexibility, or to say number of days after this has been completed. That's not what we want for this use case. We just want to stick with weekly, but know that you've got some flexibility when it comes to that configuration. Now, this is going to create the next task for us based on the completion status, when the status is marked to completed. In this case, we're going to set the new status of the new task to whatever our backlog or in planning kind of status is. Now, this is configurable, so you can create your own statuses and you can select which one. I think in this case, it makes sense for us to say it's going to create it as planned. And then here we've got the ability to choose which fields we want to copy. By default, we're doing all fields, but you're going to have to think, is this the right fit for you? Because in this case, we've got a time tracking log. And let's say we had logged 5 hours against a particular task. We did some preparation and we planned a meeting out for this client. Do you really want that data to copy over to the new task? In this case, we don't want that time tracking log to copy over. So we're going to deselect that. And the other fields by default now will copy over, with the exception of that one individual field. Let's go ahead and say we are done with this. You'll notice that there's now the presence of this icon, which is a nice visual indicator to say this is a repeating task. And at this point, we've done our client check-in. It's actually Thursday today. And so we're a day ahead of schedule, but we got really eager and we contacted our client and we worked that all out. So again, remember, this is based on us saying that we are now complete with the task. So we'll mark it as complete. And when we do, this is the logic to then be able to create the new task. We're able to see that this has now created the next task for us based on that repeating cadence. If you take a look at the previous task, notice that that icon is now removed. And that's because it's the newest task, which contains that repeating logic. So this will continue until you tell it to stop, but that logic is going to live in the newest iteration of that task. Now, there is a little bit of intelligence here when it comes to handling tasks that are past its due date. So if we go ahead and click in here again, let's say rather than it being on Fridays, this was something that takes place on Wednesdays. And Wednesday was yesterday. I'm behind on this task, and we'll change the cadence to be on Wednesdays instead of Fridays. Okay, so it's now Thursday. I should have finished this yesterday. And so depending on how the logic would be configured, it's like, well, what do we want to take place then if we're late for that? Well, in this case, because we want it to still be on Wednesdays, even though we're late at completing this, now that I am marking this off to say we're done, I was late, it's on a Thursday, but because that recurrence is still on a Wednesday, it's going to know that and still create the task for the next Wednesday. For those of you doing a lot of project management, I know that repeating tasks are going to make your lives easier. If you have any questions on getting set up with SmartSuite, you can reach out to our website at automationhelpers.com, where we're offering free 30-minute consultations.